We start with Thursday Night Football. But before we get into Thursday night, I just briefly want to note that this is a weird week because we have 6 teams on bye week 14. What is the NFL doing? We have the Atlanta Falcons on bye. We have the Chicago Bears on bye. We have the Green Bay Packers on bye, the Indianapolis Colts, the New Orleans Saints, and finally the Washington Commanders. Bizarre to have the bye this late. Our Thursday Night Football matchup this week is the Las Vegas Raiders on the road against the Los Angeles Rams. The Raiders are 6-point favorites against a Rams team that is in free fall. Despite everything that's been said about this Rams team, about them essentially going to be like one of the worst 2 or 3 teams in the NFL come season's end. They're shutting down Matthew Stafford. He has a spinal contusion that, honestly, I'm a little bit concerned may end his career, may prompt him to retire. Outside of all that, this Rams defense was not going down without a fight. You had Bobby Wagner there. You had Jalen Ramsey. They were not just going to roll over. They were in this game competing with a Seahawks team that at this point is a lot better than them. From a roster construction standpoint, Geno Smith was slinging the rock all over the place. The Rams end up losing a game where they really didn't have any business competing for as long as they did, but this defense is not going to roll over. And now the Raiders, on the other hand, they've been stringing together some wins. They're sort of a bit up and down this year. One week they look incredible on offense. The next week they can't really finish any drives. At the very least, over the last month and a half, they seem to have put together something of a more cohesive offensive unit. They're getting Matt Collins the ball. They're relying on Josh Jacobs as the centerpiece of this offense, and they're getting Devontae Adams, their $40 million wide receiver, the ball in space. He scored 2 touchdowns this past week. Carr and him are really on the same page right now. It's been an exciting offense to watch at times, especially once they sort of figured out that Josh Jacobs is the straw that stirs this particular drink. The over-under in this game set at 43.5. I feel, as everyone knows, I don't like to bet this Thursday night game. There's just no world in which I can bet a Rams team that is in free fall like this. This Rams team is in shambles. I don't know who's going to start at quarterback for them. Their backup quarterback gets hurt in this game. Most likely, if I'm going to bet something, I may do something of like a tease here. We get a low over-under. You'll see it's in the teaser zone, and it's a 6-point line. You could tease this to a Raiders to win and the under 49.5. That feels like a good, fun bet to me. If I'm going to give you guys a prop play for this week on Thursday night, like I like to, I would look at Tutu Atwell to score for the Rams. I would look at Ben Skoranek to score for the Rams. Any one of these bad Rams wide receivers, throw a little bit of action on them to score anytime touchdown. Someone theoretically has to score touchdowns for the Rams at receiver. You would think, at least. And the Raiders defense, for as good as they've been, they're not shutting teams down necessarily. So whatever quarterback, whatever scrub's playing for the Rams this week, we could see them throw a touchdown to some no-name receiver who has great anytime touchdown score odds. So keep that in mind. My pick here is going to be the Raiders -6. I don't love it. I'll probably tease that down to -0 and then the under 49.5. So those are my plays for this Thursday night football game.